Hello there everybody and welcome back to Just Trending News. So today we're still talking everything coronavirus because after all it is a global pandemic, and especially after listening to what the president had to say, what I gathered from it yesterday is that yes, we are implementing a travel ban as South Africa, and the president specifically said only restricted to the people that have been traveling or coming in from high-risk countries such as Italy, South Korea, China, the United States, etc. Okay, so we all know those countries that are specifically high risk. So if anyone is coming from those countries, then obviously they will not be allowed to enter South Africa, which I think is absolutely fantastic. And he also said that he would be closing land, air, and seaports, and basically restricting the amount of people and I think also goods that would be coming into the country. So that is definitely a step in the right direction. So something that really bothered me was, or it doesn't bother me, so something that I really wanted to talk about in this video specifically, and it will not be a long video guys, is the South African lockdown situation. So as the president has said yesterday, he is effectively locking down all schools in South Africa as of Wednesday, and they will only be open again after Easter holidays, which I think obviously, you know, the kids are the people that we need to protect the most. So I think that is a very good move from our president. However, I'm just worried about if there would be a lockdown in terms of the whole country goes on lockdown, what would really happen to people? So as we know, in a situation, or as we can assume, in a situation where a country does go under lockdown, then the people who don't really have much job security, the people who don't really work in privileged positions are the ones that are going to be suffering the most, right? So South Africa is basically a country where there are lots of people that are living under the poverty line and lots of people that are very underprivileged and actually don't have great jobs, if we're just being honest with ourselves. So should there be a situation where South Africa goes into lockdown, what do we think would happen to those people that, for example, do not get paid, if they don't go to work? Do we think that those people would be able to survive a possible lockdown in South Africa? And how long do you think that the country can actually put off the lockdown in South Africa? The issue of the lockdown in South Africa pertaining to the coronavirus is something that actually really worries me, because it seems as if that, you know, the people that are going to be suffering the most are the people that aren't necessarily as privileged as others. It seems as if in South Africa the coronavirus is something that was brought into the country by the privileged, but the people that are going to be suffering from this disease the most are actually underprivileged people. If you look at people that work in butcheries, or if you look at domestic workers, how much protection can we actually guarantee to those people in those sectors of the economy when South Africa eventually goes into a lockdown? And what do we think that the government can do to actually implement strategies to say that, you know what, should South Africa actually get to a state where it has to go into a lockdown, then this is what we're going to secure, or this is what we're going to do to secure some sort of security for people who are in underprivileged positions. To further prove my point, I was speaking to someone, well, not face to face, thanks the Lord, but you know, I was sort of speaking to someone who lives in South Korea at the moment, and South Korea has sort of been on a lockdown situation, and that person was saying that, you know what, at this very moment, I'm not allowed to go to work, but my employers are saying that they can't give me 100% of my salary. They can only guarantee me about 75% of my salary. And he then further went on to say that at this very moment, this is actually super worrying for me, because I'm in a position financially where I actually need 100% of my salary to actually get by every single month. So my point being, what do we think as South Africans is actually going to happen when we go into a lockdown and we have people that are working in certain sectors of the economy or doing certain jobs in South Africa where they're not really guaranteed their income, they don't have protection of income. So in a situation where the country goes into a lockdown, the employees are just going to say, well, you know what, you know, no work, no pay, you don't come to work, you don't get paid, you don't push, you don't bring in the hours, you don't receive a salary. And these are the things that our government should actually think, these are the things that I believe our government should be paying a lot of attention to. So yes, our government is actually taking a step in the right direction by actually, you know, doing the right thing, doing the smart thing, and actually implementing a travel ban. But and however, we need to start thinking, so what happens if this disease actually starts getting out of control? What can the government do right now to sort of try and counter the problems that we might eventually encounter in the future? So those are basically my thoughts, everyone, in terms of the coronavirus and hashtag lock South Africa down. if I heard correctly, I believe that the president said yesterday that there currently or were currently 64 cases as of yesterday. Obviously, in terms of the coronavirus, they say 64 cases, but we can obviously all assume that the number is actually much higher than that. So 64 reported cases. So at this very moment, they are saying that limit contact. They're saying if you have to cough into your elbow, and then our government also has the audacity to say we should do the elbow handshake or the elbow shake instead of the normal handshake. So these are things that our government should really start thinking about. When they give the country advice, really start thinking about what you're telling the country to do. When you're telling that we're only going to lock maybe schools down, we're only going to lock certain sectors down, really think about what would possibly happen and what you can possibly do to counter any issues that may arise from the country possibly going into a lockdown. Because all of the countries that have had cases of the coronavirus, and these are leading economies in the world, all of them have had to deal with some sort of a lockdown. Alright, so in Italy we have the whole country on lockdown. In South Korea we had, I think, most of the country on lockdown. In China, obviously, they had all of the population on lockdown. So our government really needs to stop telling us to not freak out and start giving us solutions. Our government needs to have meetings upon meetings upon meetings, because trust me, this virus doesn't seem as if it's going anywhere anytime soon, and we're gonna have a lot of problems. But anyways, this was 6 minutes long. I'm so sorry. Please subscribe to my channel. Tell me what you have to say in the comments. Do you agree with me? What do you think about all the points that I've just raised, or all the questions that I've just asked in this video? If you like my comments, please smash the like and the subscribe button, and I will see you in my next upload. Enjoy the rest of the day.